I want to start this reading off by giving it all up to God. Like, I have to really give this reading like my own life depends on it, and I am being pushed and stretched and pushed and stretched and pushed and stretched to preach and believe in my greatness and believe in spirit and believe in this path and believe in this journey and accept how I've set myself up previously, how I have navigated before, and what that means for me now, what that means for all of us now. I am making this message for those of us who are on our knees, who are staring at everything, at everything that God has all the control, and I think that the reality of that truth is what's going to keep us going forward. And this video for me right now is about regenerating that faith, regenerating that strength, regenerating that love. When you are at your lowest, how can you come to God with the understanding that as I am, all that I am, all that I've ever worked for, like, it doesn't end. My life doesn't end here. It doesn't stop here. And I refuse to let myself dwell in what limitations I might think I have for myself based on previous choices. Like, I choose to see the abundance. I woke up today and it was miracles, and miracles in the sense of it may not have looked like what I wanted it to, but if I don't sit here and say, thank you God for that miracle, thank you God for this relationship that I have with myself, thank you God for the people who are in my corner, thank you God that there's still food on my table and there's a roof over my head, thank you God for these cards, thank you God for this moment, thank you God for these answers that you give me. You ask me to just reach out and pray, and you asked me to come to you. You asked me to tell the angels that whenever I need them to wrap their arms around me, that they're right there. They're right there. And I thank you, God. And oftentimes I don't think we do this enough. We don't just pray. These cards, it's not about giving the message to somebody else. I need God to make me new again. And I see that without God, I don't have the world that I think I have. We don't have the world we think we have without Source. And I'm grateful, because if God decided that this was the end of the road for me, I would have I've had so much. I would have grown through so much. And I'm grateful. I am truly grateful, but I need to give it to God. Because I was hungry and I was famished and I was low energy and I didn't know where to go and I didn't know what to do. When I didn't know where to turn, when I had to surrender. I have to surrender right now into God's love, because that refuge is the only place that I feel like I belong. It's the only place that's been there for me. So I give God the glory, and we're going to work through this message right now. And sorry for the tears, but we're going to work through this message right now. We're going to work through this energy right now. And I want to hear it from Source. I don't want to hear it from everybody else. I don't want to know what everybody else thinks about what's happening right now, what's real right now, what's true right now. I want to talk to God direct. And I want God to show me what my path is, because the confusion, the other languages not standing up, even this journey, we've had to have faith. I've had to have faith that putting my time and energy and effort into these messages was going to matter. Progressions, sensitive. Just gonna let God speak. This is not, so we got progression and journey in reverse, and this is God speaking, because it says the challenge is, this is not a small obstacle or opportunity. This is part of a complex pattern. Every choice you make changes how it unfolds. So I'm starting right now, and I'm starting today. And if you got it wrong a million times, if you've been making the same mistakes a million times, if you've been doing the same things a million times, this is God saying it's not a small obstacle. But it has to be incrementally broken down. Every single thing you do either says you want more life or you don't want life. It's that choice. What do you want to do? Because in this paradigm, people are leaving, people are going, people are not. So thank God for the protection, thank God for the coverage, but you have to understand that at this point, if you're not choosing to be alive, then you're not choosing life, and then don't be surprised when that is not what you receive. It says, then we got Pisces, which says sensitive. The symbol for Pisces is two fish usually swimming in opposite directions. Pisces rules the feet and resonates with the wetlands, streams, and ponds, ruled by expansive Jupiter in traditional astrology and by intuitive Neptune in modern astrology. Mutable water sign Pisces calls us to sense our dreams and our intuitive perceptions for the trickles and streams of understanding. The sun shines in Pisces February 20th through March 20th. The action. Pisces asks us to swim in the ambient pool of emotion and be moved to the compassionate action. Do you see what God's saying right here? Do you see how God is saying your progression, right? It's in reverse. It's about the journey. But this is not breaking this cycle. Breaking these patterns is not a small obstacle. And a lot of us are feeling and realizing like you have it right now. And it's not to get overwhelmed. We're not overwhelming. It's just like you could realize how if everything is really bad for you, that means every choice you were making was leading up to that outcome. So in that same breath, go the other way. Starting right now, drink water. Starting right now, feed yourself. Starting right now, choose the better option. Starting right now, change your life. Starting right now, choose love. Starting right now, be the person or the man or the woman or the person that you thought you could be, that you know you want to be. Start right now in this step, in this breath. When you're going to work, when you're washing your hands, when you're using the bathroom, when you're interacting with people, when you spend your money. With Pisces, think of a vast watery landscape with streams meandering over fields, through ponds and swamps where the different elements and diverse species flow together in one subtle, boundaryless, and fertile landscape. Appreciate all the diverse voices in the situation and take them as tributaries to your river. This complex ecology has so much more to say and is so much more robust than any simple monoculture. The situation you are facing is also subtle and complex. There's that conversation. It's subtle. There's a subtle complexity to what we're feeling, but that is its strength. Yeah. This moment calls for finer perceptions, a more sensitive microphone. Be aware of other people's feelings as you are your own. But know whose feelings are whose. You see what I mean? Know whose feelings are whose. And this is what I'm talking about right now. There is a call for boundaries. We have to refine this process. We've been on this journey together. We've been following this path. The next step now is to really be able to distinguish, because we're all flowing and we're all getting brought upstream. But you got to know when you get really thrown in the water, when you really get thrown in the rush, you got to be able to understand and be fine-combing through these perceptions. Track carefully what you soak up from others and what is true to your own wellspring. Thank you, Spirit. And I feel like right now God is telling me, Alexis, listen to your own voice. Listen to your own voice. Listen to your own voice. Because I'm starting to feel emotions, and it's not going to be the same. I have to be called to have an evolution of how I'm even being an intuitive, of even how I'm sharing this message for myself. I got to know where I end and where the other person begins. I got to know what belongs to me and what does not belong to me. Because in the same breath, I had one of the best days of my life and I achieved one of the best things ever. And then immediately I'm realizing where I'm not having boundaries. I was looking at my partner and I was having this conversation, and we were having this conversation about how he really has to not expect other people to carry his energy and his water. He's got to do that for himself. And I sat there today and I'm realizing God is showing me myself. God is telling me, I want to bring in your blessings, Alexis, but just know you have to know who you are. You have to know where you stand. You have to know what is yours and what is others. And I'm so grateful that God brought it up with this full moon, because my dreams are here. They are here. And God is not going to bring me into a situation that I could possibly ruin for myself. God is not trying to do that for you or for me. So God is telling you right now, boundaries. You're swimming. Your dreams are here. You're now learning that you are flowing in the greater stream of life with all of these other organisms and all of these other elements. But to not get sloshed up on this karmic cycle, you have got to stand here and say, I call on God first. Before I call on YouTube tarot, before I call on any of these energy readers. That's why what I do here is about what you need to do to be talking to God. What are your emotions? Are they yours? Are they others? What are these energies that you're picking up? Are they yours or are they others? I've always been a sponge. I've always soaked up so much. And I can see that there's an opportunity in my face right now to change my whole lifestyle. But I certainly cannot go into it without the awareness that I need to be stronger in my boundaries. I'm not speaking that fear over my life. I'm not speaking chaos over my life. The world isn't falling apart any more than it was ever falling apart. If you find yourself on one polarity and versus the other, you're being propelled for the capacity to be sprung just like a slingshot in the opposite direction. Believe in that. Keep searching for that. Because when you go to one end or one polarity, you are uncovering truth. That is why God has you there. To uncover truth. And right now, God has minimized my money, my stability, my change. Because God is saying, get that key that's in there so that you have it. Because that's why I'm here, to get the key. And I can tell you right now, from my spirit, God, I see clearly. I see clearly now, Spirit. I pray healing over myself. I pray healing over others. I pray healing that I can understand what is happening, what the dance is, what my energy is, what is mine, and what belongs to me, what is my path, what is my truth, and what my boundaries are. I've got to be responsible for holding myself. My own decisions are the reason I'm not okay right now. It's not even my partner's fault. It's no one's fault. It's my choices. And right now, I think we feel that. We feel how much every decision, if it isn't a decision that's rooted in giving you more life, you're just sitting with it. And that can suck, and that can make you feel like, yeah, everybody's right, everything is horrible. It's all, but that's not even what it's about. We all got to take that full accountability and say, yeah, if I'm hungry, if I'm tired, if I don't have this or I don't have that, well, where did my money go? Where did my time go? Where does my energy go? Yeah? It says, learn to honor a twin perception that we are both individual cells with our own work to do and that our cells are embedded in the body of creation. Yeah? It's dual. I can feel it right now. I feel right now how much I have to stand up because I'm also interacting with creation at a cellular level. All the things that y'all are all doing, I am also feeling. God is only putting us through this so that we can see that you don't need the news. You don't need And as I said this right now, some money just came through. Thank you to my partner because I know he hears this message and I want to say to him, he is my greatest partner and he's my greatest confidant and we will get out of this together because we are understanding the same lesson. This is what I'm learning, yeah? This is God telling you, you don't need a news outlet to tell you how much violence is going on in this world. You don't need social media to tell you the pain and suffering that we feel on this planet. You feel it. If you've been waking up with acute anxiety, if you've been feeling depression, some of that isn't even yours. It is it's the dual cell, the part that belongs to you and then the part that belongs to everything you've ever been and everybody and everything that's ever been here in this realm. This is what God is saying. There are certain things that will be obsolete because we have got to have stronger boundaries with ourselves. And I'm somebody that's not even off the shit. I'm not even in the fucking space. I'm not even online like that. I'm not really out here promoting myself. I don't really connect with other people that much outside of my personal life. I've really been on an internal journey because I've been realizing that without even having to text or call y'all, I know exactly what's going on. Because it's affecting my life. And I think we're all realizing that. And this is a part of the revolution, and it's beautiful because it is anchoring us to understand that there is that dual reality, that you and everyone are all within every single cell of your body. So we are awakening to that ancient knowledge. We are awakening to the sensitivities that we actually have. Most of the time I thought I was being traumatized by my own will and volition, but really, not even necessarily. We've always been of and in this world. It's embedded in our DNA. That is why we're stepping into this collective call. That is why I want to step up and do this work. But right now, I'm not concerned about a job or how I look to anybody else. I want to mobilize this feeling in my spirit. Let me get some juice. I need to mobilize this feeling in my spirit. It doesn't matter. I'm so close to my dreams, but it's not about my dreams. It's about me. Because I'm not going to change the world by promoting a fake world. I'm going to change the world by my mission, by my belief that what we're feeling is the world, is the collective. And the only way, you can't even define boundaries. I'm not even judging people for, most of you probably don't even have good boundaries, because without the awareness that in every part of you, there is both the individual and the whole, united, reflecting the same. Without that awareness, you can't possibly start the journey to start your boundaries. And so I want to work. I want to love more. I don't want to fight. I want to collaborate. I want to provide clarity. God is showing us the truth. God is showing us the actual DNA of who we are. So you can't possibly, some of y'all still want to set up these lives where it's just like, I'm the individual and I'm individually pursuing what I want to individually do, and it's not possible. Because even if you do go on and do all the things that you individually want to do, you still have this responsibility, this feeling in your gut about the state of the world and this space. And it's always been there. Like I said, there is no fear. There is nothing to fear. We are in an evolutionary state. And Scorpionic energy has really, really been coming through to really teach us the valuable lessons about how we connect jointly with others. It's been coming through so powerfully. Healthy boundaries help us do our individual work. Spiritual practice can help us shift our perception from the cell mind to our role in the body of the one. Tune into a healthy ecosystem with Pisces sensitive perception. We are all cells in the body of the one. Healthy individuals contribute to the health of the whole. Hello, this channel, this page is about the revolution of the healthy individual. This journey, everybody that I've walked away from, every situation, job, space, community, whatever that I've had to walk away from, is because this is about the revolution of the healthy individual. The whole individual. Because a healthy individual contributes to the whole of the collective. And right now, the health of my body, I feel it way down. I feel how many of the individuals here aren't prioritizing real health of self at an individual level. And then they wonder why it's a sick population. I can't do this alone. So there's no sense in abandoning the people around me. My job is to serve. My job is to get as many people as possible caring about their spiritual health, the spiritual health of this planet. I'm on a mission. I'm not going to stop. I'm the most qualified candidate for whoever's organization from the inside out. I want to meet the top. I want to meet the business. I want to know who are the people that are creating success, because I need to tap into them, because we need to get on this spiritual health. For those of you that are commanding in the third world, for those of you who have the life path and who understand how to manifest and who know how to do these things, I'm coming to the top. Because I need these people to go back to their communities because we are grounding down the light. It's time to go now. Let me go to 16. It is not time to push ahead or spark change. If you try to motivate practical change in your life or try a totally new approach, it can feel like trying to light a match in the fog. Be patient and the fog will clear in time. Woo! As I said all of that, right? This is when God says this is God's move. So we were doing all of our work, all of our half of this, right? We were doing our half of this, and here comes God saying, this isn't the time for you to try to spark something new or try to be. That's what I'm saying. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Because God said what's happening is the justice energy. I'm getting judgment energy right now. With that energy of, wow, transits is at the bottom of the deck with the climate. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how God has us changing. Look at how God has us changing. Let me read this right now. Because I feel like what needs to be said here is that God is pretty much saying, for some of you, like when you see what's revealed, when you see what your destiny is, when you see God's hand played, when the universe plays there, when the universe just reflects what the inside of your self looks like, it's not the time that you don't have to change. Now is not the time to be like, oh my God, I gotta hurry, because it's not gonna do it. If you're reading this, it's too late. You get what I mean? It's not, this information and this awareness, you're at a place where you can't, it's not the time to try to change the choices that you already made. Some of y'all are coming to this awareness. Like I said, there's a lot of people who are realizing that their day-to-day choices have pre-paved a reality that indicates a certain level of boundaries. Whether they're strong, whether they're weak, it doesn't matter, but it is all based on the choices that you were making. And God says, when you have to look at what your boundaries actually are, ain't no time to try to run and be like, I want to, no. You're locking in. You're locking into this new paradigm, and you're going to play whatever role you're going to play based on what your preparation was, what you were setting up. Now, for a lot of us, this is great. This is great news. For a lot of us, this is a call to really come into union and really define what that means to work and have unconditional love of service. I'm in a partnership with someone who I know has a love of service. I am not here to turn my back on my partner. We have a dual mission to go into our communities and to evoke an understanding and an awareness in the people around us, whether they're asleep, whether they're awake, whether they're whatever, that they have a spiritual health, and it's affecting us. Me and my partner were just talking about this, right? Like, when I go to work, your spiritual health affects me. Did you know that? And that's why I've literally left jobs, because people who just completely disregard their spiritual health, I can't do that as an empath, because I'm sitting up here in this Pisces primordial soup with you, and you're a mess, and it's bleeding into me, and it's rushing into me, and every emotion you think that you're covering up so well you're not doing such a great job, because I'm still feeling it at a cellular level. So Spirit said, this is also the time for those of us who you have a right to say, if you're not taking care of your spiritual health is affecting me. I have been seeing that painfully for the last 4 months. People around me, even the home that I'm staying in right now, right? Like, it's the spiritual health of others matters to me, because it will affect my emotion. It will affect my capacity. It will affect how I feel. It said transits. The planets are always moving through time and space, always spinning around us. When those planets form geometric relationships to one another, they create transits, the astrological weather conditions of the day that affect us all. When a moving planet forms a geometric relationship to a planet in your natal chart, that transiting planet can act like a guest who enters your house, sits in your kitchen, or sprawls in your living room. It activates that part of your existence. If that transiting planet talks to your Mars, it activates your warrior nature and fight or flight response. If it talks to your moon, it initiates a story centered around your home, your family, and how you nurture yourself. This is also huge because Also, the education and awareness of transitory planets, the angles in which the celestial bodies are making. This is also information that we can no longer say is like subjective or a choice or you could opt in or for a niche community. No, nigga, you are all getting affected. I don't care if you don't believe Pluto does anything or not. I don't care if you don't believe that the sun does anything or not. How could you be that fucking obtuse to not think that the movement of these bodies also, because some of you are also waking up having a bad day thinking the world is ending, think your opportunities are gone, and I feel like I needed to hear this, and you're not realizing that your lack of awareness of the astrological bodies and the movements and how they interact with your energy may cause some things that are fleeting, and some of you make very serious finite decisions based on temporary movements. This collective is going to recognize that, yeah? This is what the age of the Aquarian is ushering in. The age of the Aquarian also ushers in the proper amount of information that you actually need to be a functional human being. That's another thing I'm saying. Some of y'all think y'all have amazing boundaries. Some of y'all think you're so on top of your world, but you are so ignorant to like all self-knowledge. Seriously. Have no clue what's going on. So some of you, I'm also hearing Spirit say, how can you know how good your boundaries are? None of y'all have good boundaries because most of y'all don't even know what's going on. And then for those of us who do this work and try to subscribe and try to learn as much as we can, because we realize like, hold up, yesterday I wasn't even feeling like this, and now I'm feeling like that, and now I'm feeling this, or I'm interacting in this relationship like, why? So Spirit is saying, this is why we're triggering you as much as possible so that you can surrender to the fact that you need to understand, you need to have a general pulse on how things engage with your energy. We can no longer not be champions of our own energy, because that is the reason why you're walking around and your journey is in reverse. You're not making progressions because you're making decisions that ultimately, if you actually knew what energy you embodied, you wouldn't be making the same decisions that end up leading you to things that make you feel under-resourced or not taken care of, or like you can't keep going in the day, or like you don't have the energy to live another day. So this is why I do this channel. This is why I do this work, because it's got to go beyond just the intuitive. It's got to go beyond just the intuitive. You have to have an awareness. There has been tools and resources that have been out forever, and that's why this profession, the price is about to go up. Because for those of us who know how to translate that for ourselves, and it's not about seeking other counsel, you have to know, do this work for yourself. Do this work for yourself. Check in. Understand this terminology, because I think it will literally, education in that way will really help some of us who are, because the boundaries is upright. The sensitivity is upright, which means you're in your sensitivities. But it's not time to spark a crazy change, because some of y'all, so here's the thing. Some of y'all are experiencing lack of progression, roadblocks, poor choices, the results of poor choices. You're feeling the sensitivity of it. You're feeling it all in your vessel at a cellular level. And then you get really like, you want to hurry up and respond and react. This is reaction. But you don't have clarity. You don't have clarity. Like, you think you're going to respond to this situation with, but you don't have clarity. You don't even have clarity that this might just be something that's pressing you. You don't have the clarity. Right? And so this is God saying, it's not some, and this is why you're seeing, like, if you see violence or if you see people, because people don't actually have clarity. People think that they're acting from an informed space, and that's why they're doing the things that they're doing, and they're not. Because they don't even have the proper clarity. You don't even know what actual light we're seeing this in. This is why we do this work. This is why I do this work. And this is why I put it out publicly, so that people can see that I'm crying one minute, screaming the next minute, getting the download in the next minute. It's the transparency. This is the type of work that all of us need to be doing in our homes. Really, 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 really. Not just about your fucking sun sign. You know what I mean? You go outside, like self-discovery in the whatever capacity. There are endless modalities about how you can intuitively, but you need to pair this up with the greater weather of the collective, of the universe. You have to know that this is not the start, or the earth is not the start of the end of your journey at all. Come on. It's not even subjective. It's not. You can believe in it or not believe in it based on your human corporal form, but it is the truth. Some of y'all aren't from here. Some of y'all, you know what I mean? Some of y'all came here. Some of y'all don't even know. How can God activate its servants if they don't even know that they came from the fucking Pleiadian star, from another star seed to come here to do some work, if y'all don't even know? This is God saying we got to do We got to make better choices in the day. These have to lead to something. And I'm grateful for the journey that I've been in, right? Because I'm actually trying to understand that sometimes there are just transits that make things heavy. Sometimes there are just transits that things don't come in, and it doesn't mean that your dreams are off track. It doesn't mean that you should start feeling insecure about what you've done. You show up perfectly, but then the next day might have a different communication with your natal energy. And that's okay. But the problem is, some of y'all are shooting, some of y'all are trigger happy, some of y'all are violent, some of y'all are reacting, is what I keep hearing, you know? Myself included, right? There are so many times where at face value, I have to really let myself go into my studies. Sometimes I'll have a tiff with my partner and I'm like, I know that's not the lie. I know this is my soul partner. I know I'm not walking away from this person. So what is it really? And sometimes the answer is as simple as there is an activation in a certain house within a certain planet. There's someone that is a guest in my house. And imagine, some of y'all are walking around, you have all these celestial bodies in your house and you don't even know. You have company that is here doing stuff in your home and you don't even know. Some of y'all aren't getting sleep at night and it's like Pluto's in there running up in your living room, banging pots and pans and not letting you sleep. You see what I mean? Like, you got to know these conversations. This is why I tell my partner, psychic abilities, intuitive abilities, what I do here, this in 50 years will not be impressive. Because it will be for survival. People have to know more about what's going on beyond just the human experience. And so, because the transits affect the climate you're in. They are the backdrop. They set things up. So if you have no pulse and no gauge and you've never tapped into this knowledge or awareness or have any awareness of what the night sky even does or what that even means, really, we have got, this message is really about, we are letting go. You cannot sit here and say that the trees and the earth and clouds and grass are not miraculous. It's magic. It's magic. How could we ever walk around this planet thinking that it's just, oh, I'm just alive, a single secular independent separate being with a heartbeat and meat and bones, what flesh and, but what is that? What is that? You know? So I thank God for opening us up with that 30 minutes in, but it's so important right now for us to realize that some of y'all are reacting or sparking into change based off of a lack of awareness, based off of you don't actually know enough information about what's going on. And so therefore, whatever you think you're about to jump into action to do, don't do it. Because a lot of times it actually might just have to do with the climate, or it might just actually have to do with the celestial body, but we don't have that literacy. That is the work that I'm even trying to do alongside. I'm just trying to get the information as it comes. I want to ask more questions. I don't want everything to be like, oh, I guess I'm just mad, or I guess my boyfriend or fiance or husband or whoever just wants me to be pissed off, or just thinks that I should just throw the whole relationship away. I make myself have these volatile moments because I don't know the weather of the day. You know what I mean? Because I don't know the climate or the backdrop or how these bodies are interacting with my energy and those around me. Some of y'all be ready to throw whole shits away and it was just the season. So I think that's the most powerful message today, and I really got to use the restroom, so I'm going to just share this message, and it's beautiful, and I'm just grateful. So I'm going to pull one card, just one card, Spirit, and I saw the Judgment. I just peeked down, but that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. Two of Cups. Two of fucking Cups. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. It's paying off. The partnership is paying off. Some of y'all think that the world is coming to a shitstorm because of some climate. Some of y'all listen to news outlets that are actually just responding and reacting to the movement in the bodies that try to keep turning the cabal, the fucking, all of it. The third dimension, the whole matrix, bro. Trying to get you to believe that you didn't earn this. It's coming in. It's coming in. No, it's not time to make any sudden movements. Do not break up. Do not cancel everything. Don't. You're right on track. You earned it. What? Are you going to walk away right now? No. The Two of Cups is here. This is union. This is reciprocity. This is Soul Tribe. This is what is here today. And if you let this bullshit, your lack of awareness and your lack of knowledge of what's going on make you think you're not compatible to your partner, you're a piece of shit, I guess I don't know what I'm doing, I guess I'm lost. You have to elevate your literacy. Because then you won't feel, you'll just be like, oh, something's just activating my Pluto, which is why I'm having self-esteem issues today. I don't know. You know what I mean? These things are happening. There are other influences. There are more variables. So don't make any rash decisions that would jeopardize this. And all the fucking, this is heavyweight on your back, bro. 7 of Pentacles. Do not make any sudden movements. Steadfast. Stay strong. Stay in love. Stay connected. Stay praising God. Give glory to the Most High. Never stop asking questions. Do the research yourself. Because this right here is what is here for me. And I would have let that shit go if I didn't keep studying, if I didn't stay in these books, if I didn't stay prayed up, if I didn't ask God live and direct. Okay? So I thank God for the glory, because these partners, I have this in my life. And I'm not going to let any of these fear-mongering ass, YouTube, social media ass, wannabe ass readers who want to believe in that, who want to believe that this isn't here right now, bro. There it is. Be blessed. It's up. It's up. It's up. And it's going to change for me starting right now, because I gave God the glory. And that did everything. That did everything. That filled my spirit up. Really. So thank you, God. Thank you, everyone. And I just want to give a shout out to Dennis. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you.